Well, lawmakers have now voted to dissolve the parliament. Israel will now go for the fifth round of elections in less than 4 years. The election date has been set for November the 1st. Israel's Foreign Minister Yair Lapid will take over from Bennett as Prime Minister from midnight. Lapid will oversee a caretaker government with limited powers, however, while he will also keep the Foreign Minister's portfolio. With this, Israel's 24th parliament has ended, and so has Prime Minister Naftali Bennett's year-long tenure. Ahead of the final vote on the bill, Bennett had announced that he would not stand in the upcoming elections. However, Bennett will stay as the alternate Prime Minister. Last week, Bennett moved to dissolve Parliament after infighting made his ruling coalition no longer tenable. The election campaign has already become dominated by the possible comeback of former Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, whose record reign had ended. It was ended by Lapid and Bennett about a year ago when they formed a rather rare alliance. And now with the collapse of the diverse coalition, the opposition leader Netanyahu is once again in the spotlight. Despite being on trial for corruption, Netanyahu hopes to win a sixth term in office. Surveys have shown his right-wing Likud party leading the polls, but still short of a governing majority. The anti-Netanyahu camp will likely be led by Lapid, who has sought to cast Netanyahu's potential return to office as a national threat. And for more details, our correspondent Jody Cohen is now live with us from Ra'anana in Israel. Jody, thanks for joining us again. Parliamentarians have voted to dissolve Parliament, as you've been reporting. What can we expect to happen next?
Thanks, Priyanka. Yes, so MPs, the parliamentarians, have voted on the dissolution bill, and we can expect to see the election take place on the 1st of November. The coalition won that debate because the opposition, of course, had wanted it to be held in the week before during the Jewish holidays. There's going to be a small handover ceremony at the Prime Minister's office this afternoon when Yair Lapid is expected to become interim Prime Minister by midnight tonight. He will, of course, carry on as the foreign minister as well. Whether or not he wins the election as the leader of Israel's second largest party, Yesh Atid, remains to be seen. And Prime Minister Bennett will become the alternate prime minister with responsibility for Iran. He addressed the country on Wednesday night, and in his speech, he hinted that we can expect to see news perhaps on the regional diplomatic front. So all eyes will be on President Biden's visit to the region in July. He also stressed the importance of moving forward as a country together in unity.
Right, absolutely. Jody, now what can you tell us about what the polls are predicting for the election in November?
Right, so since Bennett has announced that he's not going to be standing in the next election, Ayelet Shaked is going to be taking over as the head of his Yamina party. Now, she's indicated that she would sit with former Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in a coalition. Now, the polls this morning have been looking at what the Bibi's bloc and the Yamina votes means together, and they're now predicting 63 seats for a coalition government under Netanyahu, consisting of the right-wing and religious parties. So there is a possibility now that we could be seeing a third term of former Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. In Bibi's speech this morning to the Knesset before the vote took place on the dissolution bill, he talked about what he sees as a failed coalition experiment. He said he spent the year listening to the people and that he will focus on restoring national pride, personal security, and curbing the cost of living and, of course, the terror and nuclear threats from Iran.
Right, Jody, thanks so much for all those updates, and thanks for joining us on WION at this hour. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.